Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here. It is Thursday, the 26th, although I might say Tuesday, the 26th here, but it's really Thursday. Scott Pritchard joining me here, day after Christmas. Hope everybody had a good holiday here. And if you're just tuning in, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bells on here, because here on the Winner Circle channel, we roll out daily free pick winners 7 days a week. Me, Scott, Chip Trimbus, Paul Bovey, Matt Fargo, Doug Upstone. Who else we got? Victor King, Brian Biller, Mark Lawrence. A lot of free pick videos for you. Jim Feist, we got you covered. We went 2-1 on Monday with NBA, 1-1 on Tuesday with NBA. NFL yesterday goes 2-1. And right now we're going to talk about two games for me and Scott. We had a third game on tap. We'll dwell on a little bit, just to bring it in, because it's the Tarts Bowl, and you got to talk about. I love the whole embracing of the Tarts. These are free picks, though. If you want Scott's premium stuff, you want my premium stuff, you want anybody else's premium packages, head over to our sponsor, gamblersworld.net, where our 3, 7, and 38 packages are all guaranteed. Go get that. We show you profit over that time, or we credit you back. And you roll it back. Same guy, different guy. We got a leaderboard. I say this all the time: win or lose, always the truth, no hiding from the record. That's right there for you. Click on the guy. You see how they're doing weekly. Last couple days, the sport's broken down for you. Simple Simon stuff. Real easy to do. $69.99 day passes, which come in handy when there's multiple bowl games and NFL games. Saturday, you got bowl games, you got NFL, and you got basically a decent slate of college basketball for a holiday week when schools are out of session. So make that smart money move and get on board. Let's go. Scott, how was Christmas? You get Santa delivery any winners under the tree yesterday? Did you have that easy winner, South Florida in the over on the Hawaii Bowl Tuesday night? Never in doubt.
Never in doubt. We have 5 overtimes for it to get there. I did play the over. I caught a good number early, but I was dead in the water, as you know. I got lucky, but hey, luck is the residue of design. The harder I work, the luckier I become.
I like that. And I always say when something comes like freaky like that, I always do tweet out like never in doubt, just to, I guess the sarcasm doesn't come across in the text or a tweet as it does in person when you say stuff like that. But it is kind of funny. Like that looked like just a dead under at times. And you saw it playing out. I was doing on YouTube on my channel. I'm like, you know what? There's nothing going on. Let me stream this puppy live. And I was on Twitter, had like 700 people watching. And I'm like, everybody's sitting around probably opening gifts or hanging with family. And it was halftime. I'm like, I said, you have to take this 9.5 with the Spartans. I said, this game plays out like these terrible NFL games that are 13-0 at the halftime, and it's 20-20 at the end of 3. I said, this is exactly how this game's going to play out. I said, I won't be shocked at a 27-27 overtime spot here. And sure enough, it was played that way out. I don't know. I looked pretty good on TV that day for that one.
Not only that, Sean, but the fact is San Jose State had outgained the opposition, South Florida, by a convincing 100 yards. But, kickoff returns and a brain-dead play, fumble at the goal line. And the only concern I had there was South Florida was getting an extra possession in the second half. The point spread reflected that. But, yeah, San Jose State minus the points, second half, knowing that they were down 21-10 at intermission. A great call, 27-27 overtime, free football.
Yeah, I was like, and just what you said, we had a fun, and I'm watching it, and I had South Florida plus 2.5 and had over 65. So I was like, listen, I'm on the other side, but let's be honest. To me, it looked like he stepped out of bounds. It should have been out of bounds at the 2.
That's whatever. What I thought.
They had that fluke play, and of course the kickoff return. And I'm thinking to myself, you're going to give 9.5 points to this team that's a 14-point swing right there. They should be winning this game 21-10, not losing it. But
I had first half, San Jose State, first half, plus a half off on juice, plus a half, minus 0.5. And again, good bets lose, but long term, obviously I do pretty well for myself.
And that's the thing, like you can handicap the fluke play like that. Like who's that guy? He's on the 2-yard line. They should have got 7 there. That was a 7 spot. But that's the fun about bowl games. And I'm not a huge watcher of the game, Scott. Like that one I was just watching. I was home. I'm like, all right, let me just put on the other screens here and hang out and watch a game. Like we got a couple bowl games here on Thursday, more on Friday. But we're going to talk these Saturday ones. There's a fun one here. It was Fargo's game, and he's ill. He's been banged up the last 2 weeks trying to get healthy and stuff coming on. Talking for a little bit, you got to talk. I know what it's like. You're stuffed. I was doing the show. You're stuffed up. I get it. So hopefully we'll be back next week. He's going to do the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And I love the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Forget that as a Miami guy. But last year when the Pop-Tarts Bowl came and they had the little dancing Pop-Tarts and they threw them in the toaster and like the Pop-Tarts came out of the – like that's a fun bowl. Like it's not a great – it's the lower level. It's not the Rose or Sugar, all these big name bowls. But they embrace it. They have fun with it, which I think going forward you got to kind of like the mayo guy. They throw the mayo on the people. Like here's a fun one. And I was on tour the other day and had the dancing Pop-Tarts out. It says like the 3 wise men come for Christmas, and it was like 3 different flavored Pop-Tarts in their outfits. That's funny. I think that's good engagement for the Pop-Tart people. And arguably, you might have the best non kind of big name bowl here with Miami, Florida, and you got Iowa State. I mean, Miami, you could say we can make a case. Why aren't they playing in the playoffs? They lost on the road to a ranked Syracuse team. And he had a 5-point loss on the road to Georgia Tech, who lost in 8 overtimes, by the way, to the big bad SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs. And yet they're sitting on their sidelines here. This line was a pick 'em. It got moved up to about 3.5. Cam Ward said he's playing, right? So that probably affects that. Total 56. Iowa State's in off again, shellacked by Arizona State. I had Arizona State that game. I was not a big Iowa State guy there. I kind of like the Canes. I'm a Canes guy. I lean that way. Do you got any thought on this one before we move on to our other games here? But just we'll talk about this shortly here because it was on the agenda.
I do have an opinion on this game as long as you bring it up. And Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care what the bowl game is, if it's Pop-Tarts, if it's the Pop-Tarts Bowl or the Toilet Bowl. I just want to know who's playing, put a number on it, and I will handicap it and hopefully see the cashier. In this game, I've said before as a professional sports bettor, Sean, you ultimately want to be on the move early or against it late. To your point, Miami opened up at a pick. All the money, all the sharps, all the wise guys have driven this number up to 4. I like the Cyclones, Ames, Iowa. Points mean more than opinions. Iowa State +4. They have not one, but 2 wide receivers. I mean, who do you key on? You cannot take away one of their receivers because both receivers averaged, or they actually have over 1,000 yards receiving for the season. So I like Iowa State plus the points. Plus, I like going against teams that don't even pretend to play defense, and that's Miami. They cannot stop anybody. And even if it's close late, and let's say I'm down 7 or even down 4 or even down 10, I'm going to get the backdoor late touchdown meaningless that will cover the number because Miami cannot stop anybody.
I'm going to say here, so Scott likes Iowa State here with the points. And I'm sidewise, I'm with you there. I'd rather have a pick 'em than a 3.5 or 4 even. But you brought up their defense. Give me the over here for the show. I'll go over this 56 here because Miami could score as long as Cam's playing this entire game, which by all indications he's going to play. I don't think if you're going to sit out. I don't think you come in and play like a quarter or half a game and then leave your guys to get trucked out of a game. Especially you got Iowa State coming in. They lost 45-17 in that game. By the way, that's a bad taste. You want to kind of show up a little bit after that one. You want to sit on the sidelines, play a quarter or a half, and have your guys get run out of the building by 20-something points in Florida. By the way, it's like a quasi kind of home game for you. That's what you're gonna. So I think he plays the sharp guys. People think he's going to play the whole game because the line moved there. But I'm going to say over for the show here. I'm going to go over to 56 for me. I'm going to say.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't get a chance to mention that. But as much as I like the Cyclones plus the points, I really, really, really like the over. This game's going to fly over because we've already addressed the fact that Miami doesn't play any defense. But I do love their offense, and we know Iowa State with not one but 2 stud receivers over 1,000 yards receiving all year. This game, I think, and there's a reason why. To your point, Sean, that it's moved. The wise guys are all over the over, and I see why. Over is the right play. I agree.
Yeah, so there's a little bonus play for you there. Kind of like the over, and again, you're going to have a high-scoring game. The dog's definitely going to be in play, whether it's going to be the back door or just even an outright win here. If we're going to get 2 teams scoring in the 30s, which let's be honest, like 40-36, 38-35 kind of game, 38-37. And I think it's going to be a wild one and a good one. Again, I think you got two good teams in here. They both got kind of a little chip on their shoulder. One team got embarrassed. The other team got snubbed. I think it's going to be a good game. Now, a couple more games here. This is a good one here. Alamo Bowl action. People might not think, oh, it's BYU. Look at this. Lowly. BYU's a ranked team. They're ranked actually higher than the Colorado Buffalo, who they are playing. Yet they are a 4-point dog here. Alamo Bowl, it's in Texas. So it is at the Alamo, right? This is a Texas Bowl game here. You got to kind of figure that out, folks. 4.5. I got to tell you, Scott, beginning of the year, I was like, no thank you to Colorado. You're going to give me plus 145 and under 5.5. You couldn't stop anybody. The line was a problem. I wasn't a believer in them. I like Prom. I think you get guys in there. But coaching and having them get into a team as opposed to being individuals, I wasn't sure it could happen. They got that Hail Mary win versus Baylor. And, man, that's a play that kind of changed the whole trajectory of the season, in my opinion. I was like, wow, that's a loss. It turned into a win. You go on the road as a big dog, double-digit underdog. You win outright. And here you go. That's kind of – gets the ball rolling kind of stuff, kind of thing here. Both teams, I think, were 9-3, good seasons. I lean to the dog here, though. But this is your game for the quote unquote official free pick here. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Go for it. Coach Prime's getting it done here.
No, I'm not a big Coach Prime fan. He's all about himself, prima donna, and didn't like him as a player. His favorite play was calling for a fair catch. He was a great. He would never. He stayed away from tackling anybody. He had speed and he could intercept the ball, but he would never tackle anybody. And number two, if there was someone outside of 10 yards on a punt return, he would just call for the fair catch. He would shy away from contact at all points. But what he did to Tim McCarver during the World Series, I give him credit. He has talent. He's a very skilled player, but I didn't like him personally. And as far as Colorado goes, they're not 10-2. They're 9-3. BYU 10-2. Okay. So BYU, the thing I like about the Cougars is I like teams that actually play defense this time of year. And I like teams that rush the ball. BYU averages 160 yards on the ground per contest. So it's a matchup with contrasting styles because Colorado, they're world beaters passing the ball 328 yards through the air per game. That's the good news. Bad news, they only average 70 yards on the ground. Between these two teams, BYU has the better defense, they have the better running game, and no top players are out for BYU. So I like BYU plus the points, plus 4. Points mean more than opinions. See the cashier.
So I got opinion-wise, I disagree with Primetime. That guy, he's a fair catch guy. He ran the ball. He's got a couple touchdowns run back on punts and kickoffs.
Yeah, as long as no one was in the 10 yards, there was no chance of him getting hit. Yeah, again, he
definitely wasn't a guy who wanted to tackle people. That's for sure.
No, he would shy away from that. And again, he would always call for the fair catch. But let us not forget how disrespectful to your conference opponents when he showed up to say, I'm coming, we're coming. It's like, ooh, we're so scared. So disrespectful. He makes it all about him. And I'm not a big fan, never was, never will be. But again, all that aside, BYU plus the points, I see value. Points mean more than opinions.
The comment section will definitely get it on the Buffalo stuff whenever we talk about, because I'm the same as you. I figured he comes in, big personality, and the players want to play for him. But the aura he brings, where we're the best team coming into the Pac-12 at the time, and then we beat up some bad teams, and the good teams kind of rolled them out of the building. You're going to get every team's best punch, right? This is like, you're not Alabama, you're not Georgia, but you're a marquee name from the standpoint of you want to talk a lot of crap. Every other team's going to get up for you. And now you got to, BYU's for small school intention purposes, they're not, but they are in a way, right? It's BYU, a bunch of Mormon guys. You got, you're boxed in of who you can recruit and stuff like that. I'm with you on the BYU team. You're going to go a little hungrier team, defensive team, and a team that's, let's be honest, the one team is talking a lot of junk. We got, quarterbacks driving around in Maybachs, and we're going to be, top 2, right? They got 2 of the top 3 draft picks coming. Good for them playing. Good for them. I appreciate, really, because they could sit out. They could be like, why the hell am I going to play in this lowly bowl game? It's not some marquee game for them. Hats off for them to playing. Good for Colorado to step up and take out $1 billion of insurance or whatever they did to make sure these kids plays. Hopefully, you see this from these two cats. Hopefully, some of these other guys who opt out because, I'm going to go in the transfer portal or I'm going to go pro. You see these two kind of guys who are legit top 3 picks, right? I mean, could be arguably number 1 picks if you come down to the best player. People want Hunter. I mean, he's a two-way guy. They're playing in the Alamo Bowl, folks. Good for them. So we can knock a bunch of people and say things about the guys. They're showing up for a mid-tier bowl game. Hats off, thumbs up. You got my support there. But I'm with Scott here. We'll take the 4 points with BYU. Take that little hungry dog here. One last thing on that. With the mega conferences now in the playoffs, now we got conference foes playing each other. I kind of don't like that one, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Scott Pritchard, official show pick here, BYU plus the 4. If you want Scott's premium stuff, he does pretty well. Head on over to gamblersworld.net, get a day pass, get an individual package, a weekly pass. They're all up there. Make the smart money move. Get on board. The guy's hot. I just saw his 8-4, 9, some kind of run. I got to scroll it down a little bit. Where's the Scott run here? 16-9, 64%. That'll put money in your pocket, folks. All right? So let's turn to the new year. Put some money in your pocket with Scott Pritchard here at gamblersworld.net. My game here. We've got Miami Hurricanes and great Pop-Tarts. We got primetime, Colorado, top draft picks going. ECU and NC State. Here you go. Military Bowl. Yes, it's a little lackluster compared to the other two kind of games here. NC State 6.5-point favorite, total of 50.5. But I chose this game because I don't want to say it's an easy spot for me to just come in and grab a team, but it really is. Give me ECU here. We got an in-state rival, small school, big school. I had a coaching change here for ECU. They kind of had a nice run when he took over the defensive coordinator. They did drop their last game, but I think they lost to Navy, who's a pretty good team. I think Navy beats Oklahoma in their bowl game, to be perfectly honest with you. And what's NC State got here? If you want to look at an over in this game, that's fine. This might be a little bit of a shootout here, but I'm taking ECU. I'm not even overthinking things. I got small school, points, in-state rival, big brother, little brother. It screams ECU Pirates to me. That's all. That's all I got to say. ECU. Let's go. Simple. I'm not overthinking the nonsense in the military bowl, Scott.
Yeah, sometimes the less you know, the more you know, because I'm with you here, Sean, because you speak, I listen. The NC State, I respect the betting market. I respect the odds makers. Their job is way more challenging and difficult than it is for you and me. I can cherry pick. I spot my picks, pick my spots. Their job is to post a side total money line on a myriad of games. We don't have to bet every game. Going into this contest, as I was looking at it, I did not bet it. I do not have an opinion other than Chip Chirimbus speaks like you, Sean. When you guys speak, I listen. You both like East Carolina plus the points. The one thing I will say, the money has come in on the Wolfpack of NC State. This game you mentioned opened 5. It's been bet up to 5.5, 6, now 6.5. If I can steal a 7, catch a 7, find a 7 at one of my 14 outs, I will. It will warrant a play. But like I say, if you and Chip, two of the world's best, are both on East Carolina, I'm on East Carolina.
And as I said, the line has come up. A lot of times I do mention when the lines move, and I didn't have my screen up to go off the move on this one. Why they open in a 5, it goes up. I'm still wondering why that is. Because this is a team that had a win against NC in their final game to even get bowl eligible. Where you have another team in ECU who's just North Carolina State. Okay, are they happy to even be there? Do they want to be there? They've had a lackluster season. ECU started. They fired their head coach. They're playing with a little gusto under their new guy. You know they're pumped up to be here. I don't get the line move. Unless, and again, folks, we're taping this Thursday mid-afternoon here. We don't know. They could be opt-outs. We don't know. Guys, last second kind of, we had the Pitt guy today was just ruled out. They thought about it. He might have played. It went from 9 to 7. He's out and moves another point. Game day, 2 hours before game time. So maybe something's in the wind here. People might know, right? It could very well, East Carolina guy could be out. Check the lines beforehand. You have to this time of year. It is tough getting down on bowl games a week out, 3 days out, 4 days out with the portal and opt-outs and stuff like that. But for the show here, sign me up for some ECU Pirates plus the 6.5. Nice big doggy for me here. Scott Pritchard, another dog, BYU plus the 4. We both like the over in that Pop-Tarts game. Not that we're going to sit around and eat Pop-Tarts while we watch it, but Scott, I like the Pop-Tart. It's just, it's a fun, there's a lot of wacky bowl games. You know, the Bad Boys mower. That sounds like a great thing. When I was in Jersey, I can't buy a Bad Boy mower in Jersey. That's like a South thing out of like the South. That's a cool name. They got some nice looking lawnmowers. It doesn't help me. You know, what are you going to come out there and run over the field? No, we spend a lot of money fixing the field. You can't bring that mower out here to the Pinstripe Bowl. What are you doing? Get out and take that in Yankee Stadium. No. Pop-Tarts can go anywhere. And you have a party with Pop-Tarts. I don't care. Maybe we get Pop-Tarts to sponsor us, Scott. Who knows? I'm big enough. They'll be like, you can eat some Pop-Tarts on there. We'll give you a couple bucks. I'll do it. No cinnamon, though. I don't want cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Anyway.
Yeah, to me, it's just a bunch of fluff that I don't really care to engage in. I really just want, let me know who's playing, give me a number, let me bet it. All the other stuff, the Pop-Tarts, the toilet bowl, whatever it might be, is less than meaningless to me. But I get what you say. People tune into these games, Sean, to your point, for an entertainment value as much as anything else. But to me, I'm very logically driven. I'm very results oriented. And when it comes to my money and sports betting, I couldn't care less what the name of the bowl game is called, other than who's playing, what's the number, how can I get down, where can I find an informational advantage with a competitive number. So ultimately, you, me, and all of our viewers and followers can see the cashier.
You know, like I'm with you. Like, I really don't care. I don't care about guys who play. It's about the number. We move from there. But unlike you, I enjoy. I'm glad that they embrace it. Like, there's so much crap. Like, pretty soon there's gonna be no, like, Scott, let's be honest. They're going to get rid of these conference championship games, right? Because you saw it with what they talked about. They're going to be gone. They're going to add teams to playoffs. They're going to start the first week of December probably, right? If you have all these bye weeks and stuff, there'll be no real bowl games left. What's going to be left? You know, there'll be it's round one sponsored by whoever, and that's what I'm talking. Like, you get some weird sponsors. This one I enjoy, and I like mayonnaise. So I like the Duke's Mayo Bowl. So they got me. They got me roped in. If they could do something with tuna fish, that'd be wonderful. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, but I find it entertaining what you say. So, hey, enjoy. It's entertainment, right?
Yeah, like we got the Ventures Bowl. I don't even know what the hell that is. 68 Ventures? What is that, a gas station? I don't even know what that is. I can understand Pop-Tarts. I get that. The Gronk Bowl? What the hell is that nonsense? What is that? Don't even have it. What is that bowl? Really?
Yeah, I don't know, and
exactly.
Respectfully, I don't care.
We know what it is here, folks. BYU plus 4, ECU plus the 6.5, and over Miami, Iowa State here for the free pick video. GamblesWorld.net for all the premium stuff. I have, how many bowl games do I got left up on board for? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bowl games left to go. I'm 9-4 out of the gate. There you go. Scott Pritchard, myself, GamblesWorld.net. Have a good weekend. We'll be back next week. Scott, hope to see you again. Good luck in your plays this week. And for everybody watching, thank you. Good luck. Hit the like button, too, and leave comments about Pop-Tarts and Coach Prime. I look forward to it. Take it easy.